And Lori's back, so that's good.
Well, it's still paused, so once I get it live, I'm gonna go back into Zoom and unpause it. So
Okay.
there'll be like 2 seconds of dead. Oh. Now it's saying it's in restricted mode. So how do I undo that?
See what
Oh, Brian said he can see it.
Okay, he can see a black screen that says video unavailable, or he can see their faces.
Well, hang on, that I'm not sure. He says you're live.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and unpause Zoom. I can't see it, so somebody else may have to pause the YouTube. Okay, you're good.
We're good to go.
You're good to go.
All right. Thanks, everybody, again for signing in. Hopefully, we'll see if we can make it through at least part of the agenda. We'll try to get the action items out of the way first, right after roll call. Waylon, I understand you're calling roll.
He's doing the treasurer's
No, I wasn't prepared for that. I can be.
Nope. Okay, Bob will call.
I was going to do the treasurer's report.
Okay, very good. Thanks. Misunderstanding on this end.
And let us call the roll for the August 25 virtual meeting of the Fort Concho Museum Board. Please answer here when your name is called. Ms. Keen.
Here.
Mr. Banks.
Here.
Ms. Spears.
Here.
Ms. Lowe. I believe she's on vacation. Colonel Ryan. Colonel Ryan. Colonel Ryan, are you there?
Bob, I'm seeing his name and I'm asking him to unmute, but it's not showing that we can hear him.
So you cannot hear him? Let's circle back to him. Miss Barton?
Here.
Mr. Stanley?
Here.
Mr. Cooksey?
Here.
Miss Howell? Mr. Allen?
Here.
Dr. Pierce?
Here.
Mr. Schaller?
Here.
Mr. Milburn?
Here.
Colonel Ryan? Then let the record show that you have a quorum with 3 members not here. That would be Miss Lowe, Miss Howell, and Colonel Ryan, if he is declared not here by the connection. So you need to move for an excused access.
So I need a motion to approve the absences that have not provided a reason as to why they're going to be here. Could I have a motion from somebody?
Money.
Shirley Spears. I make the motions that we excuse Lowe, Miss Howell, and Miss Lieutenant Ryan.
This is Monty. I second.
We'll crawl a roll again. Brandon?
Here,
No, I just need you to say yay or nay.
Yay.
I'm putting that down as a yay. Ms. Barton?
Yay.
Thanks, yay. Waylon?
Yay.
Keth King?
Yay.
Curtis Milburn?
Yay.
Jason Pierce?
Yay.
Yeah, there he is. Dave Schaller?
Yay.
I see that hand. God bless it. Shirley Spears,
Yay.
Monty Stanley,
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yes, I just got a text from Colonel Ryan. He said that as timing would have it, his internet just went out at the house and they're rebooting it right now as it goes. So he may join later.
Okay. That'll work. So we established quorum and take care of our excused and unexcused absences. We have no public comments today, as they were to submit those by emails and we had no submission. The consent agenda for A. Everybody should have had a chance to read the minutes from the February meeting. Are there any corrections, additions, subtractions from the minutes?
My name was spelled wrong, but I'm not going to get too hurt about that.
The Wayland or the Cooksley?
Wayland.
Okay. So noted. Anything else? Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from February?
This is Dave Schaller. I'll approve them.
I need a second, please.
Shirley Spears, I'll second.
Here we go again. Brandon Allen.
Aye.
Yay. Aye, very good. Lloyd Martin.
Aye.
Roger Banks, aye. Wayland.
Aye.
Kathy Keene.
Aye.
Curtis Milborn.
Aye.
Jason Pierce.
Aye.
Brian Ryan. Dave Schaller.
Aye.
Shirley Spears.
Aye.
Monty Stanley.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. The next thing on the consent agenda is 4B, the treasurer's report. Waylon, you're up.
All right. I don't know if y'all heard, we've had a little pandemic going on. So doing 5 to 8 to 6 months worth of treasurer's reports be a little difficult. So we worked with Bob and we gave you the Cliff Notes version. So these financials reflect the 7/31, so 10 months. So we're 83.3% of the way through the fiscal year. So we have 2 months left. Despite COVID losses of events plus travel restrictions, reducing attendance, site operations, budget, we're at 22,000 in the red for the year, which is not bad considering we're in the middle of a pandemic. We had a reserve fund of $268,000 at the beginning of fiscal year 10/1. So this year's deficit will be covered by that reserve, which is kudos to Bob and his staff. That's why you run a fiscally responsible ship. Memberships income from August to September could total 35,000 or more. And that'll help in the upcoming fiscal year. We delayed the membership drive of May due to the oil bust, stock market crash, and COVID. Our rentals are increasing, and that could bring in another $10,000 to $15,000 over the last few months. They've also got 2 full-time positions that they are holding open, and they're doing their best to restrict their spending. So the goal is to limit the operating deficit of the year so that we do not take too much of a chunk from the fund balance. So we're not doing a lot, but we're protecting that fund balance as much as possible. Our capital improvement projects are funded by separate reserve funds. And that's it.
Nice to have you back, Mr. Ryan.
Thank you. My internet dropped at my house, so I pulled it up on my phone now.
All right, glad to have you. Bob, you have anything to add to his report?
No, I think the overall goal is to maintain operations at the best level possible. Staff are doing an extraordinary job. Many folks are pinch hitting and taking up extra duties so we can keep those positions unfilled. Serious deficit for the year at a minimum. COVID is not going to go away anytime immediate, so we have to be thinking long-term. And I'm looking at not only this fiscal year, but I'm looking at next fiscal year. And we're hoping things get better, but I think we need to be conservative as long as possible and take advantage of any cost savings we have. So I'm very proud of staff, and I think that membership income will increase a little bit, and rentals are slowly coming back. So we're in much better shape at this point of the fiscal year than I ever would have hoped back when they shut us down in April.
Fine report.
It's not as bad as it sounds.
Any questions for Bob?
I have one. This is Monty. I was just wondering if you had any staff members who have been forced to self-quarantine or been unable to work because their children had to have childcare.
The best way I can answer that in keeping the confidentiality is that we have had some cases and all are okay. All staff are now working on site, but we did have a few staff in the earlier part of the year working remotely for part of their time.
I guess the main thing I wanted to make sure was that they were being taken care of with the president's FFCRA, and I assume working through the city's HR office, they are, right?
That is correct. The city passed a special COVID time release that staff could use either for their own sickness or for taking care of immediate family or for working at home if they thought that they had special situations. We had several staff take advantage of that and all have been made whole.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Then I need a motion to accept the treasury report.
This is
Kathy
Kathy,
Keene?
so moved.
Need a second from Mr. Schaller.
I'll second it.
Mr. Allen, your turn again.
Aye.
Lori Barton. Lori Barton.
You're muted, Lori.
Aye.
Oh, there you are. Roger Banks, aye. Wayland.
Aye.
Kathy Keene.
Aye.
Curtis.
Aye.
Dr. Pierce.
Aye.
Brian Ryan. Dave Schaller.
Aye.
Shirley Spears.
Aye.
Monty Stanley.
Aye.
We'll reverse order next time, Monty, so you won't be last.
I appreciate that.
One more on the consent agenda. We have the site manager's report. Following that, I would like to skip down to D, following Bob's report, to talk about our nomination before anything screwy goes on with the call. So Bob, if you'll go ahead and do the site manager's report, we'll move to the regular agenda.
Thank you. In the interest of time, the site manager's report is in your package. And some of these issues will be covered in greater depth by the agenda items. I'll entertain any specific questions right now.
I assume buildings and grounds is coming later.
Indeed.
Okay, that's what I thought you was getting at. Anything to add from Bob's written report? Then I need a motion to accept his report. Lori,
I move to accept his report.
Dr. Pierce, can I have a second from you?
I second that.
Thank you. Monty Stanley.
Yeah, what? Aye.
Aye, there you go. I knew I'd trick you up. Shirley,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Lieutenant Ryan.
Aye.
Oh, there he is. Dr. Pierce,
Aye.
Curtis Milburn,
Aye.
Kathy Keene,
Aye.
Wayland,
Aye.
Banks, aye. Lori Barton,
Aye.
Brandon Allen,
Aye.
Now let's move to item number 5D. Nomination for Lisa Marley to be considered for a board position. Do you have anything?
Miss Marley's application is in your packet. She is the former personnel director for the city. She has always had a interest with the fort. Her father actually was a colonel in the field artillery. And I've known her since the day she started working for the city. She is retired now. And I think with your agreement would make a very good board member.
Any question? I'm sorry, any questions or concern regarding her application?
I move approval to accept her as a new board member. Kathy Keene.
Wayland Cooksey, I will second it.
Okay, this time we're going to start in the middle and work both ways. Kathy Keene, I assume.
Mhm.
Curtis Milburn,
Aye.
Dr. Pierce,
Aye.
Wayland,
Aye.
Roger Banks, aye. Lori,
Aye.
Monty Stanley,
Aye.
Shirley Spears,
Aye.
Dave Schaller,
Aye.
Lieutenant Ryan.
Aye.
Slightly late. Brandon Allen,
Aye.
you end up last either way. All right, now we'll go back to 5A. Thank you very much for allowing me to move that around. 5A is update on operating, excuse me, got COVID. Operating the Christmas at Fort Concho. Bob?
As you all know, Christmas is probably our largest event. It's a major fundraiser. It's a community activity. And it's probably an activity by which folks statewide know us. There are many challenges in running Christmas in a normal year, and this isn't normal. To be very honest, under the current restrictions under which the city is operating, with a capacity of 250 for outdoor events and 250 for indoor events, there's no way this event could operate under today's guidelines. We do 250 people in 10 minutes at the gates. Staff have been evaluating the COVID situation on an almost daily basis. We've had one small senior staff and volunteer chairs meeting. We have another one tomorrow. At the moment, we don't have a definitive answer whether the event can go forward because we don't know what the circumstances will be 1 or 2 months down the road. certainly all of us thought back in April and May, what were we hearing? Oh, the summer West Texas heat will fry that virus. Well, that didn't quite work out. We have to be very cognizant of the public safety. We have to be very aware of public attitude. And we understand that this event poses many challenges simply because it is based on bulk. It is based on moving hundreds, if not thousands of people through a facility where there are crowds, insides of buildings, entertainment areas, feeding areas. So the current plan, such as it is to wait until after Labor Day, which is probably as far as we can go, and then make it some sort of decision. Normally, by this time of year, vendor contracts have gone out, sponsorships have begun, and serious planning is underway. Beyond talking about the event, we really haven't done much of anything because we're fearful of making commitments we can't keep and of attracting money we might have to refund. I'll close with the financial implications, which I know are on the top of many people's minds. Ultimately, if we had to cancel in full the Christmas event, not have it in any way, shape, or form, it would certainly hurt financially, but not to get too complicated, but the money that comes in for Christmas is spread over 2 fiscal years. Therefore, we would take somewhat of a hit this year to the tune of $20,000 to $30,000, assuming that all is better in the fall of next year and Christmas event went in full, we would make some of that up. That's about where we stand, and if the board has any specific questions, I will be happy to try and answer them.
This is Curtis. My only question is just for clarification purposes. The treasurer's report indicates we're about 20,000, give or take, under now. So was that deficit that you mentioned on top of the 20,000 that we're already under, or that we're already in the red?
If we do not run the Christmas event, we probably add to that current deficit by another 10 to 20,000, but that's hard to predict because we're already in the midst of cost savings. We're going to get a boost from membership money. And if all of our current rentals play out for August and September, that cash flow boost will help the bottom line. And to be honest, there are also cost savings in not doing Christmas. You're not spending staff overtime, you're not spending extra utilities, but all of that would factor on next year's budget, which starts on October 1. So the short answer is yes, it would contribute to the deficit, but it would only hurt this fiscal year that ends September 30. If we ran it next year, then we're good.
Thank you for your clarification.
Any other questions?
I might also point out that we've been given many suggestions by volunteers, staff, citizens, but when you get right down to it, every suggestion that has been given to us involves the event on a slightly lesser level, but the issues do not go away. Currently, the city is operating its facilities under a color code system similar to what airports used to use. Red, yellow, so we got green, yellow, orange, and red. Green is everything is beautiful. Have a ball. Orange, yellow, is it yellow or orange? Yellow is what we're under now. And that limits us to 250 persons capacity inside and out. Orange severely limits those capacities and virtually shuts down many public events. And I don't have to tell you what red means. So we're right now in a position where we could not operate the event. Lastly, our volunteer base is very low. They are mainstays, but they're also in a grouping of over 65, and many have made it clear that under current conditions, this does not sway them. And we have to be very cognizant, appreciative, and we just have to understand and respect that. So a lot of factors, a lot of variables, and we're just going to wait as long as we can to make a decision. And then whatever it is, move on.
Any other questions or concerns?
I would lastly entertain any personal observations from the board. You may, in the middle of the evening, the middle of the night, come up with a brilliant idea, save it till 7 a.m. I will be more than happy to visit with you on a one-to-one basis. This is a serious issue for us, and we want to make the right decision based on the best information we have at that particular moment.
Anything else? I know we'll all be sad if it doesn't have it. How many years of running has it been?
38 straight. This would be number 39. Evelyn and I have been here for virtually all of them. It would be very odd to be going into an early December twiddling our thumbs.
How nice to be the first president that gets to cancel Christmas at 04 at Concho, plus have 2 meetings in a year. It doesn't get much better than that.
Your legacy is solid.
Thanks. Okay, if nothing else, let's move on to B, membership drive.
As noted earlier, we're doing very well considering the tanking of the economy back in April, and we deferred the drive until just last month. The good news is we've already attracted almost $26,500. And here's a bit of information that I find very encouraging. We have had 17 members increase their membership. We have only had 6 downgrade. So that means the ratio of people increasing their membership to declining is 2 to 1. That is very encouraging. We will make a second mailing after Labor Day with a newsletter produced by staff to show what we've been doing lately. And if we can push the $35,000 to $40,000 range, I think that would be a major achievement in a most uncertain year. I hope that all of you will renew if you haven't already done so. And I hope you will encourage friends and neighbors. Just have them call us. We will send out a card on the next day's mail.
Very good. Please, everybody take a chance to get yours in so that we'll get that book to this year's money. If you've been procrastinating, that'll be a good time to lick that stamp and send it in. Next is buildings and grounds report. I know he's got some good news to share with you there. So Bob.
As many of you may have heard, the city council approved a contract for $619,000 to do exterior repairs. That would be columns, trim board, windows, and other features for 14 of our buildings. This will probably take the better part of a year, but it will be a significant and substantial improvement to our appearance. We are most grateful to Mayor and Council for approving this. This is funded, it is in the budget. The money will probably carry over to next fiscal year, and we should see some action in the next 2 to 4 weeks. And it will be ongoing, building to building. So this is very exciting news and will get us back to a maintenance and appearance level that we have been yearning for over the last 10 to 15 years. The roofer is finished. So all roofs except for barracks 1 and 2 and hospital are brand new, and that's been a great thing for us too. If you see your council person, be sure to thank them for their support. If you combine the roofing contract with the exterior repairs contract, that means that city council has allocated nearly $1.4 million to capital repairs, and that for any serious amount of money, for us, it's a huge amount of money.
Has that been done before?
That amount of money
I don't
has
think so.
never been spent at this site in one short period, such as what we are experiencing now.
I was thinking that's true. Need to thank Al also, Torres.
Al Torres, our city architect, has done yeoman service in crafting all of the specifications. I think given various issues of numbers of contractors and numbers of eligible roofing companies, our bids are very good, and we look forward to some excellent work being done.
If you need to take pictures, now's the time to come. We've got all new roofs
Yes.
because they're all pretty.
Give it one West Texas summer and they will be blanched to the color
Just like
that they
the
normally
rest.
are.
That's right. Very good. Thank you. That's good news. Looking forward to seeing their progress. Anything new on Rush Street Ministries?
Just to review, because it's been a long while since we've met, the Rush Street Ministries, who are our great neighbors at the far east end of the grounds, have purchased the empty lot that's in the rear of the headquarters building. And they will be at some future point going ahead and turning that into a parking lot for their facility. They have proposed a joint use of that for our future events. And they had crafted a memorandum of understanding for the board to approve. We're going to put that on the next board meeting because I wasn't sure they were still moving ahead with this project during the COVID period. Meanwhile, as you may recall, they also asked, as a part of this agreement, for a small strip of land at the far east end of the grounds between where the TB bungalow is and Avenue D. This strip would be no more than 20 or 25 feet west to east or east to west, and no more than about 150 feet going down to where the TB bungalow is. This would allow their drive-through activity and turning radius to be done more effectively. If the board is agreeable to that at the September meeting, it then has to go to both the City Planning Division and City Council, and also to the Texas Historical Commission. It'll be a bit of a long process, but I think ultimately it will not impinge or harm our land. And I think it would be a very good long-term solution to parking issues and traffic issues, which we know now plague us at that corner of the site. So we'll bring this back with more specifics at the September meeting. But if the board is agreeable, I'll work up the specifics for that meeting.
Do you need a motion or anything, or just?
I think we're good because there's nothing for you to review. If there are any objections, I need to hear them now. Otherwise, we'll make this an agenda item at the September board meeting, be it virtual or be it live.
Any concerns?
Then we are good.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is the Fort Concho Foundation report. A couple items there would be, of course, the investments. The investments, from what I understand, are doing well during the COVID, and that we've pretty much made up what all we have withdrawn. So that's good news. Probably the thing you're probably most interested in is the capital campaign. The capital campaign, they met a week ago, and discussed the proposal. And next month, they hope to make a proposal back to Denny Spears, for them to take us through the next leg of the campaign. They are also reviewing people to head up the campaign and chair the campaign. And I expect that will also be identified and put in place sometime next month, provided the folks that they identify are agreeable to serve. But they have some good names. It looks good going forward. And other than that, do you have anything to add regarding the capital campaign, Bob?
I think we need to point out this feasibility study that the foundation commissioned. And it was basically a taking the temperature of the community and our supporters to see if the community saw the need for and was willing to support a major campaign to help us finish out the visitor center at Barracks 1 and 2, rebuild barracks and mess halls 3 and 4, and invest heavily in other building and grounds necessities that need to be done. I am pleased that the report overall was positive.
For sure.
There was nothing in there that was an oh my goodness moment. And the few criticisms in it were issues which I have always known we need to do better on, which is, among others, donor relations and some broadening of our base. It is all good. It is just the baby steps to a long and interesting process. But the COVID situation and the oil bust and the stock market crash were very discouraging at the time. But what it did was allow us some time to just talk about a campaign as a feasibility issue, not as an actual going out and seeking money. And by and large, all of the 34 people who were interviewed were positive, supportive, and basically of the mode of let's get this started and let's get this done. When we have a future face-to-face meeting, which would make discussion and examination of papers a little more feasible, you will see that this is overall an endorsement of the board and the staff's work these many past years. So I was very pleased with the way it came out. Several of you on the screen were members of the review committee. And if you have any comments, Kathy or Shirley, I would certainly welcome them.
I would just compliment everyone that was involved. I too agree with what Bob said, is that everyone was very positive and upbeat and very eager to get this started. I know COVID has kind of slowed us down a bit, but I still think there's a lot of interest in ensuring that Fort Concho maintains its asset status with San Angelo. So I thought it was very positive. Good work.
It was.
Yeah, I thought it was good work. This is Shirley. I thought it was positive, and I am absolutely interested in what we'll be doing to help broaden the base. You know, we have such a wonderful facility already with great history, and we have a lot of community members who love the fort. But I'm looking forward to helping to expand the interest within the community. And I'm real excited about some of the comments we heard.
And then that's the story on the foundation, and Roger is correct. The investments have been doing well. So we've clawed back many of the losses after those horrible days of March and April. And we're in, again, much better shape at this point than I ever would have hoped back in those darker days of April.
Nothing else to report there that I'm aware of. Any follow-up or issues you'd like to see addressed at the next board meeting? Well, you guys are easy today. Shirley, I'd like to thank you for a great Buffalo Days Soldier event. Even though it was small, we had got some great press out of it. Had some great speakers to talk about the fort and the Buffalo Soldiers and their involvement with the fort. I came away more excited when I got there than when I left, or left than when I got there. And I've been working on a project that I still hope will come out sooner or later with that event, and try to get something to help promote the Buffalo Soldier program out that I'm working on personally. So Anyway, I came out inspired, and thank you for that event.
Oh, you're so welcome. And thanks to everybody on the board that supported the idea and who came out. We just have to keep doing it so that we can impact the change necessary for Bob and the staff and Corey to continue to help us tell the story, to tell the history as part of that particular facility. So I'm excited all the time when you talk about Buffalo Soldiers at Fort Concho.
If I may throw in just a quick closing word about events. As many of you may have heard through the media, we canceled the speaker series. We really tried to find a way to do it, but putting 60 to 100 people, many of whom are over 65, inside a building just didn't seem the right thing to do. And then when several of the speakers weren't particularly interested in coming in, that pretty much closed the book. We will be doing some smaller videos and online content that Evelyn and Sarah, among others, will be doing. And I think that's going to be very interesting and exciting. The archaeology fair, that was the same situation. Families, older volunteers, big groups, no can do. It's a wonderful event. It's one of my favorites, but just didn't seem the right thing to do. In October, I think we will be able to salvage the murder mystery program because those are individuals or smaller groups that can be socially spaced throughout the site as long as we can control the intake traffic at Barracks 1. And I think we'll be able to do that unless COVID totally gets out of control. But if the cycle goes the way it's going, we should be okay. The group evening tours are probably not going to happen. Moving 30 to 35 people, socially distancing in the dark is not a smart move. So we're probably going to pass on that, but we'll try to salvage the murder mysteries. And that brings you to November, and that brings you to Christmas at Fort Concho, so stay tuned.
There we go.
Bob, this is Wayland Cooksey. I meant to say that when you did your director's report, having read that, I thought it sounded really great the way Sarah and them jumped in, and obviously you're not bringing groups of school kids in, but I thought it was neat the way that they worked out boxes to send out to the schools.
Thank you. Sarah worked very hard on that. Corey and Evelyn lent great assistance. I think that these are long overdue and they're high quality. The artifacts in them were donated by two extremely well-known, high-quality living history people. So it is the best of the best, and I look forward to more. They did great work, and I think that will help us keep in the game until we can do what we do best, which is to have people on site. Also, we are looking at an online frontier school program because I don't think that program is going to happen in person in the fall. So again, staff are doing some very innovative things, and in the interim, we're going to keep our name out there and keep as far ahead of this as we can.
Will that be online via smoke signals then?
It'll be online in some format.
In some format, okay. Could I, if there's nothing else, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Waylon.
This is Brandon, I'll second.
Brandon is a second. I guess we have to do one more roll call. One more roll call. If I could find my deal, I'd do one more roll call. All right, top to bottom. Mr. Allen,
Aye.
you are excused. Lori Barton,
Aye.
you are excused. Go to the principal's office. Oh, you are the principal. Roger Banks, aye. Waylon,
Aye.
Kathy Keene,
Aye.
tell Charlie hello. Curtis Milburn,
Aye.
Jason Pierce,
Aye.
Lieutenant Ryan,
Aye.
thank you. Dave Schaller.
Aye.
Shirley Spears.
Aye.
Last but not least, Stanley.
Aye.
You guys have a good day. Thanks for showing up and thanks for your patience.
You did a